A very warm welcome to the ODPP Cafe. My name is Anita Onuko. I'll be your host for today. The ODPP Cafe is a show brought to you by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, and it's a show that is meant to educate and inform you on matters in the criminal justice system. As always, we have a panel of experts that will be here to try and discuss our topic of the week. If you've been following us on Twitter, then you'll know this week we'll be talking about anti-FGM and some of the standard operating procedures that have been put in place by the ODM. The show is live on Facebook. You can also follow us on YouTube at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. We invite you to subscribe as well. And also follow us on Twitter at ODPP_KE and like and tweet and engage us in relevant conversations, especially with regards to the topic today. So as usual, I'm going to start with a quick roundup of what is happening at the ODPP and of course, a quick roundup of the courts as well. Please help me welcome, of course, the ladies go first. So I'll start with you, Madam Tabitha.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers. My name is Tabitha Ouya, Senior Assistant DPP in charge of the Civil Rights Division.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sana. I will definitely skip you and go to Madam Sadia.
Good morning. My name is Sadia Hussein. I am the founder and CEO of Brighter Society Initiative and FGM survivor.
Good. Karibu sana to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, team. And I also wish to thank the Office of the ODPP for giving us this very important audience, where we'll also be talking about issues to do with FGM. So my name is Nicholas Songok. I work with the Anti-FGM Board, Nairobi. I am the manager, planning strategy and policy. Yeah.
Okay, karibu sana Mr. Songo. I hope usime boy child ameonewa vile introduced into our mission. So anyway, I want us to just start a little bit about the mandate of each of your offices, about what you do. So maybe just quickly, Madam Tabitha, what is the mandate of the anti-FGM units here at the ODPP?
Yeah, the mandate of the anti-FGM unit is to coordinate all matters relating to FGM and also to collaborate with stakeholder agencies to formulate policy and make recommendations for review of the law, and also to just ensure that there's efficiency and efficacy in the handling of FGM cases in the ODPP.
Okay, yeah, that's quite interesting. And how about you, Mr. Sobok? What do you do at the what is the mandate of the anti-FGM board?
Yeah, thank you very much. First, I want to start by saying that in the year 2011, Parliament enacted what we call a prohibition of FGM Act number 32, and that is now the act which gave birth to anti-FGM board, which was established in the year 2014. And as per the act, the main mandate of the board is to carry out campaign against FGM. And we do this by normally carrying out what we call community dialogues. We also train the duty bearers. And we've also been trying to support communities to be able to hold a declaration against FGM. As you are aware, we have a presidential directive in place, and the directive states that we have to end this negative vice, because it's a very harmful practice to our men and women, and that by the year 2022 we'll be able to end this practice. So it means that by the year 2022 we are supposed to be having 0 incidences of FGM. Now, the other issue is that in Kenya, we have around 22 hotspot counties, starting all the way from Migori, coming all the way to Taita, then all the way to Northeastern, then going to parts of Baringo, West Pokot, and Mount Elgon.
I'll tell you that surprised me, the 22 counties in Kenya. I always imagined it's just 1 or 2, but 22, and that the government even went ahead and formed a body to deal with it, came as a surprise to me, and I bet even for the viewers it's a surprise. But anyway, it's good to know what you do. So Sadia, just tell us, what does Brighter Society Initiative, what do you do there?
Okay, allow me to say, as a survivor, I use my personal story and testimony to share with the community, to make sure that other survivors do not pass, the pain and suffering we experienced as survivors. So the second thing is that we do mentorship for schools. We always go to schools and tell them that this is wrong. Girls are born perfect and they don't have to be mutilated for them to be accepted within the society. Another thing is that most of the time you hear that FGM is Sunnah from my community, So we engage the religious scholars, and I did the first religious conference in 2018, where now religious scholars were saying in one voice that we really need to condemn FGM with the strongest term possible, speaking with one voice and saying it should end. This is a culture, and it has nothing to do with religion. So basically what we do is more of advocacy, campaigning against FGM. When there are cases of FGM, sharing with the relevant authorities, trying to give psychosocial support to survivors. Remember, we are faced with double stigma. Before you are cut, there is that stigma around there
that you're not
your age mates. Yeah, you are not clean. There is a lot of pressure and stigma from the age mates. Now, when you are subjected to FGM and you come out of your home county, like places to Nairobi, and you interact with others, now again there is another stigma
that you are cut.
Kumbe ulikeketwa, you see. There is a lot of stigma, so we face double stigma, the community pressure versus the outside world. So as survivors, we are going through a lot, and that's why most of the time I want to build their confidence. And maybe my colleague didn't mention, in Kenya we have over 4 million women and girls who are survivors of FGM.
4 million?
Yes, people who have went through the razor or the knife. So you can imagine, most of the time it's a difficult topic to discuss FGM. And most of the time as a survivor, I always tell people, because FGM is done to the hidden genitalia, it's hard to justify. But start imagining, what if what was cut was my lip and nose? Right now I wouldn't be even discussing. Everyone would see the scars. But since it's done to hidden genitalia, the scars are hidden, and people do not take FGM seriously. So now we are talking about over 4 million women and girls walking without either their lips or noses. For instance, it would be a national crisis,
That's a crisis.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very interesting. And I was also just watching some videos online, and I discovered it's not even just an African problem. It happens also in the West. And there are also things called cat vacations. Nyi mnaishi ng'ambo, lakini siku yako ikifika mnarudishwa nyumbani mnakatwa, and that's very unfortunate.
The cross-border issues. There is also medicalization.
Yes. Okay. So Madam Tabitha, so FGM is this whole thing that the government has decided to focus on, including the ODPP, and now we are saying it's anti-FGM, not just FGM. It's an anti-FGM campaign and crusade, and that's why the SOPs were developed. But then, what does the law say about FGM? What is FGM?
Yeah, so in reference to the prohibition of the FGM Act, which my co-presenter has referred to, The definition says that FGM comprises of all procedures involving partial or total removal of female genitalia, or any procedure that causes injury to female genitalia, as long as it has got nothing to do with the medical